Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror thriller film, 13 Sins. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Late at night, Elliot is waiting for the traffic lights in his car. A fly flies over his face and annoys him. He swats the fly with his hand impatiently. Suddenly he receives a mysterious call from a stranger. The caller offers him $1,000 to kill the fly. Elliot finds it strange, but still kills the fly with paper. Seconds later, to his surprise, he gets a message saying that he has been credited. Moreover, the caller then asks him to eat the dead fly. If he does so, he will get $36.22. Elliot thinks it must be a prank, but when he checks his bank account after he comes home, he did get $1,000. Tempted by the easy money, Elliot accepts the second challenge and eats the fly. As the caller promised, $36.22 is transferred to his account immediately. Elliot gets the mysterious call again. This time he is officially invited to join a series of 13 challenges. If he passes all of them, he will get a reward of $5.7 million. He has completed 2 challenges, so he needs to complete the rest of the challenges in the next 36 hours. He is also provided with another option: quit the game and take the money he won from the previous 2 challenges. But Elliot is tempted by the easy cash. He was an insurance salesman and just lost his job because he is too meek and kind, not willing to cheat his customers. There are several people depending on him: a weak father, a mentally disabled brother, and a pregnant fiancée. He has to shoulder all the burdens, so Elliot decides to join the game. The caller explains 3 rules that he needs to follow. First, he is not allowed to tell anyone that he is in the game. The second, he can't interfere in the game. The third, he can't investigate anything about the game. If he violates any of the rules, he will forfeit all the rewards. If he quits the game halfway, he will lose everything too. The next day, Elliot is having a picnic with his fiancée's family in a park. When the caller calls, his third challenge is to make a kid cry in 5 minutes, and its reward is $5,000. Elliot looks around and spots a girl going to the toilet alone. He tells the girl that her parents have abandoned her. The girl is scared and cries at once, running back to her parents. $5,000 arrives at his account in no time. Worried about being caught, Elliot leaves the park with his family quickly. Half an hour later, he takes his fiancée to a church, where he is informed of the 4th challenge: to burn the handicrafts made by blind children in the church, and the reward is $10,000 this time. Elliot takes the handicrafts to the yard and sets fire to them. When he sees he has been credited, he tries to put out the fire with a broom, but it doesn't work. What's worse, he sets fire to the curtains by accident. The fire is getting bigger and bigger. Even the fire extinguisher can't help. Elliot has no choice but sounds the alarm and escapes the church with his fiancée. As soon as he gets out of the church, a homeless person walks towards him. Elliot's phone rings with the 5th challenge. He is asked to take the homeless person's clothes off and put them on. To win the challenge, Elliot finds an excuse to send his fiancée away and strips the homeless person. Later, he receives the 6th challenge. This time it is a good deed. He just needs to find a lonely man and takes him for a cup of coffee. Then, he can get $50,000. According to the caller's instruction, Elliot comes to the man's house, but only to find that the man has been dead in the bathtub for quite a long time. Since the man's body is stiff, it is impossible to take a dead body to a coffee shop. It's not just swatting a fly or stripping a homeless man. In panic, Elliot doesn't know what to do this time. Just then, his phone rings again. The mysterious caller tries to calm Elliot down by telling him the man took his life by himself. He just needs to take the man to the shop before 4 p.m. and put a cup of coffee in front of him. If he refuses to do so, he can quit the game now and forfeit all the money. Elliot considers for a while and accepts the challenge. He dresses the man up and takes him to the designated restaurant. It is nearly 4 p.m. The coffee hasn't been served yet. Right then, some police officers come into the restaurant and sit just behind him. He is on pins and needles, not knowing what to do. The waitress finally comes with the coffee. To his surprise, she gives the coffee to the officers first. Elliot looks at the clock and knows that he has only 15 seconds left. Without any choice, Elliot grabs a cup of coffee from the officer's table and puts it in front of the body in order to complete the task. As soon as he finishes that, he gets the $50,000 immediately. Elliot is relieved, but his odd behavior attracts the police's attention. When confronted by the police, Elliot notices there is a flask on their table. So he threatens the officers that drinking alcohol during work is not just a code infraction. They might lose their job if he files a complaint. Being threatened, the officers have to let him go. As soon as he steps out of the restaurant, he gets the mysterious call, telling him that he has rewarded 2 challenge completions for his bravery and quick thinking. He is now facing the 8th challenge. Moments later, a van stops in front of him. The driver wearing a mask calls him to get on the van. Elliot guesses it is part of the challenge, so he gets on the van. On the way, the caller tells him that the little girl in the park and the homeless man have called the police. He is also wanted for setting fire to the church and desecration of a body. But if he wins the game, all the charges will be dropped. Elliot gets it that there is no turning back, so he has to continue the game. Shortly after, Elliot is taken to a motel. He comes to room 8 and sees his classmate from high school there, who used to bully Elliot. Before they start to talk about their childhood, a woman dressed as a nurse comes in. They watch her take out a saw from a case and put a plastic sheet on the floor. In the meantime, Elliot receives a call, telling him that they arranged this challenge to let him revenge. He can get $10,000 for cutting the bully's right arm off. Seeing the game going out of control right now, Elliot refuses at first. But to his shock, the bully is also playing the game, and his mission is to have his arm cut off. When the bully sees Elliot hesitating, he taunts Elliot, saying that they always picked on him because he asked for it. Elliot is enraged, and then cuts his arm off with the saw. After that, he drives the bully and the severed arm to the hospital. Elliot is still angry, so when he meets the bully's brother, who had bullied him before, Elliot beats him up with a chair. As a result, he gets $250,000. It turns out that beating the bully's brother is his 9th challenge. That night, Elliot holds a grand engagement party with the money he won. Just before the party starts, he gets the mysterious call, telling him the next challenge is to destroy the party. He needs to smash at least 70% of the tableware while singing. He also needs to pee in the flower pot. As a return, he will get $500,000 for completing this challenge. Elliot hesitates this time for a while, for he has not been home for 2 days. His fiancée is not happy about it already, but she agrees to make up with him for this party. If he messes up the party, she might break up with him. The police arrive at the party while he stands up, but they don't come for him, but his brother. For he scared a girl in a park partially due to stopping his medication. Having known the police's intention, Elliot comes up with an idea. He tells his brother to run away, while he picks up a stick and smash things around, and sings at the same time, pretending he is coving his brother's escape. Then he pees in a pot in front of everyone. After that, he threatens to kill himself with a fork, and flees the scene. The moment he gets away with it, a caller tells him the next challenge is to go back and turn himself in, then escape from the police station. The caller also reminds him that there is a surprise waiting for him under the chair in the interrogation room. Elliot learns that another player has completed the same challenges as him. He needs to speed up and wins the game before that person. So Elliot does what he has been told without wasting any time. Soon he is taken to the interrogation room. Under the chair, he finds a steel pipe. He picks it up and hides behind the door. When a police officer comes into the room, he takes the officer hostage with the pipe and takes his gun. He jumps out of the window and escapes. He is nearly losing his mind. All he is thinking of is to win the game as soon as possible, get the grand prize and live a good life. After his escape, he has been waiting for the call. He sees an old woman walking slowly towards him. It is weird for an old people to walk alone in the street at midnight, so he follows the old woman to her house. She asks him to put the steel wire up to be a washing line. Elliot does it. When he finishes, he gets a message saying that challenge 12 completed, and he gets $1 million. Elliot is astonished by that. He can't believe this challenge could be so easy. Out of curiosity, he follows the wire and comes to the middle of the road. He sees a group of bikers are coming in his direction. There is no way they can see the wire in such dim light. Elliot shouts at the group, asking them to stop, while pulling out the nail that is used to fix the wire. He disarms the trap just before they ride past him. They have no idea how close they were to death a minute ago. The group stop a short distance away. Elliot sees one man taking out a phone, and hears him saying this $100 is so easy to earn, and what else he needs to do. Elliot realizes that they are also playing the damn game. The bikers turn around and speed down the road. The other competitor who has completed the same level of games as Elliot puts up the wire across the road. Elliot tries to stop them, but it is too late. All the cyclists are decapitated. Elliot finally comes to his senses. This is not a game, but a mere killing. He decides to give up all rewards and quit the game. He wants to persuade the other competitor to quit too. The final challenge must be cruel beyond imagination. Elliot looks around and finds the competitor is running away in a car. He breaks into a car and follows him. To his surprise, the competitor stops the car in front of his home. He has a bad feeling that something is going wrong. He goes inside and sees his father is listening to music. His brother just comes back home, with a strange bag in his hand. It turned out that his brother is the other competitor. His brother reveals himself to a girl not because he was sick, but he was just completing his challenge. Elliot asks his brother what the 13th challenge is. His brother tells him it is to kill a family member. Suddenly his father tells them he played the game years ago. Everyone's final challenge is the same, to kill a family member. His father killed his mother by faking a car accident, and won big bonuses. Hearing this, Elliot is in a fury of grief. He thought his mother died in an accident. He would never have thought his father is the murderer. Then, Elliot points a gun at his father. If he kills his father, he can win the game, and revenge for his mother. His father remains calm. He tells Elliot that he didn't live a good life with the money. He has been living in guilt for his whole life. This game will turn people into a monster. To prevent Elliot from making the same mistake, his father asks him to quit the game, and he slices his throat. Right now, Elliot and his brother are the only family member of each other. Whoever wants to win the game has to kill the other. Elliot doesn't want to hurt his brother, so he persuades him to quit the game with him, and turn themselves in. Whoever creates this game should go to prison. However, his brother doesn't want to stop the game, and starts to look for weapons in his bag. Elliot shoots his brother before he does. When he sees his brother is bleeding, he regrets and rushes to press his brother's wound. His brother tells Elliot that he joined the games because he wanted to buy Elliot a wedding gift. Elliot is so touched. But later, his brother apologizes to him and stabs him several times. Luckily, the cuts are not fatal. Moments later, his brother bleeds to death. Elliot wins the game and gets the bonus. The caller helps to drop all the charges as promised, because some police are one of them. Soon a policeman comes to Elliot's house and is going to destroy all the evidence. Elliot appears and shoots the police in the head. As a result, he forfeits all the money for he violates the rules, but Elliot doesn't care anymore. He wants those bastards to pay. In the final scene, Elliot's fiancée gets the invitation to the game. This time the bonus for eating the dead fly increases to $6,000. Elliot is happy to learn that his fiancée ignores it and tosses the fly into the bin. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.